Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies, strengthening your business while offering your talents to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Hello and welcome to another Tuesday marketing broadcast with Giver Marketing Network. I'm Christine Deane. I'm your host today and team director at Giver Marketing. I am so excited. We have one of my favorite people in the house today. Hi, Daniel.
Hello, Christine. Hello, everybody.
Daniel Knight, you are one of those people. Every time I turn around, I'm like, what in the world are you up to now? Tell me more, right? You're like one of those people. And I think cutting edge, I think Daniel Knight, because you are always up on the latest trends, what's going on, how to use it to maximize your business. And I just love finding out what you're up to. So whenever we have a chance to have you on the show and catch up with what in the world you're up to, I'm just running after you, trying to keep up with you, okay? And I know you're up to all sorts of fun right now. Okay, those that don't know you yet, tell them a little bit about you, a little about your background so they know how you became to be the amazing Daniel Knight.
Yeah, thank you, Christine. Appreciate it. I always love coming on here, and we just have such a great conversation. So, yeah, I mean, a little bit about me. You know, I've been a business owner, serial entrepreneur pretty much all of my life. And I'm really excited about where I'm at right now because I'm really leaning more into the tech side of things. Everybody I talk with is really excited about that because they know I have such a strong skill set when it comes to technology. And it's true. I've been just cranking some amazing, powerful things out lately. And yeah, I mean, you know, just to kind of go back to my experience with, you know, working with technology, kind of goes back to, I mean, really, when I was like 10, 11 years old is when I first started taking apart computers and fixing them. When I was 12, I had my official business fixing and flipping electronics on the local classifieds. I called it Damn IT because my initials are DAM. I go by Daniel Knight, but Martinez is my legal last name. So yeah, so I called it Damn IT, and it's pretty funny. And people would show up to my mom's house with their broken laptops and give it to me, and I'd take it to my mom's basement, fix it up, give it back to them. You know, 20 minutes of work for $100 as a 12-year-old was pretty sweet. So I've really kind of just always been like had my hand in tech in some sort of way or another. For the most part, there's definitely been periods where I'm like, I'm not doing it. That's not a service that I'm offering. I've had a lot of people want me to build out their CRMs and their systems, and I am very selective about the jobs that I take on with that because it can be demanding. It can feel like slavery, which I kind of got into business to get out of that. But, you know, when it's fun, it feels very freeing and activating. And so just with where technology has come and with what Claude is capable of doing and my skill set with actually using technology, it's just become very fun and rewarding for me. So much so that not only does it not feel like slavery and not feel like work, but it actually feels like fun. So I'm like, hey, I want to do more fun things. Let's make it happen. So anyway, yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit of background. So yeah.
And I know for me, I love technology also, right? But you make me look like a brand new newbie. Every time you say, I'm like, what is that? What are you doing? How does this work? Right? I'm totally intrigued because every time I turn around, you are literally trying something new when it comes to technology. I heard Claude was your new best friend.
Yeah, it definitely, I'm blown away with what it can do and just having so much fun with it. So 100% new best friend. I was having a conversation with it on Saturday about moving my 10x Unicorn app from Emergent Labs to build it solely on Claude. So it's like, all right, you've got really good code in here. Everything looks really great. So we just need to decide on a couple things like, are you going to use OpenAI or Anthropic API? And I was like, I'm like, relax, buddy. You don't need to don't be so hard on yourself. I'm using Claude. Claude is Anthropic, for anybody who doesn't know. And I'm like, are you serious? We're not. OpenAI is not even in the equation anymore. It's like a joke at this point. So it responds. It goes, "Ha, you're totally right."
See, now you got an AI that understands your personality, right? And feels your sarcasm. I mean, it's like having a little bestie now.
Yeah, it's so modest and like genuine. It's crazy, just to, wrap that up. I think it was the same day. I'm sitting there messaging it. It's like 2 a.m. and I told it like, hey, it's late. Like, or it gave me a recommendation and I was like, I'm not going to do that right now. It's 2 a.m. So it's like, okay, that's fine. I get it. But just know, like, if you did, like, that would be progress, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, just give me the strategy so that in the morning I can really get after it, right? It's like, I would, but it's 2 a.m. and you should go to sleep. So hit me back in the morning and I'll write that out for you. I'm like,
oh, I love that. No, see, that makes perfect sense.
It said no. It was like, I'm not going to do it.
That's hilarious. I'm curious. I'd like to know, let us know if you're watching this show, right? Let us know if your AI has ever told you no. I want to hear about that.
I felt seen. I felt like respected in that moment. I was like, chat would have just given it to me and it would have sucked because we were both tired at that point. But it was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Why don't you go to sleep like you just told me you needed to do?
You're like an AI looking out for my well-being. This is do.
Yep. So you know what I did?
What?
I went to sleep.
Like, it wouldn't play with you anymore. If your best friend won't play with you anymore, you might as well go sleep. I mean,
facts. Truth is, it knew I was about to run out of credits, and it didn't want to feel the wrath of what happens when that happens.
Yeah, I know about that. Just boost, and just keep adding. Yeah, my AIs. Yeah, we have issues sometimes too. But I've been diving into Claude too, but not nearly to the level that you have. And so I know I caught a glimpse earlier. You were talking about that, how to use Claude for lead generation. I said, oh, come on, we got to bring Daniel on the show. He's got to talk to us about how he's using this. There's so many ways to use AI for your business. And so lead gen, right? That's one of the biggest challenges for our business owners is, we tend to do lead gen and then we get busy in the business and then we put it on the back burner and then we turn around and we go, oh, now I have time, but I have no clients. What? No new clients, right? So it's this hot, cold. But if you can get it into a system, right, where AI is giving you a hand, any kind of automations, right, it becomes so much easier. So I am really curious about what you're doing with Claude for lead generation.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about this. And I've built apps for people to like streamline their business, maximize, or optimize efficiencies and things like that, save time, save money, all that, right? Very useful tools. Okay. And I decided just a few days ago, I'm like, all right, these are great. These are fun. These are valuable. But I'm like, I want some leads. Like I want some new business, fresh blood. I'm like, let's start building revenue generating apps. Let's start building apps that actually produce new business and can actually help me grow mine. Right. And so I really just started thinking like, okay, there are all these different lead sourcing tools that, one, will give you like a free certain number of credits each month. Two, can actually source the data that you need to reach out to different contacts. And I've heard people talk about like scraping the web for like relevant search results, that if somebody searches for a certain term, that could be a good indicator that they're a good lead for whatever it is that you're offering. And so basically I went into Claude. I was like, hey, let's build a system that will keep track of like search terms. And you basically figure out, I don't know where the searches are going to come from, but when somebody searches for certain keywords that align with the target market that I'm looking for and that appeal to the pain point that I'm solving, I want you to trigger that and then go find their data, find their email, their phone number, their LinkedIn, all of that, and then give me a score and put them in my system. But how do you do that? It has to pull from the other sources, right? You can't just, someone does a search on Google and all of a sudden you have their lead information. But what's cool is this is, I'd say, closer to more of like an attraction-based lead generation strategy, is that people are looking for you and they just haven't found you, but you found them. And so now you can reach out to them because you have the solution they're looking for, right? And so
that's what we're talking about. And it might not be bad to hit on the idea of the buyer's journey, right? And where they're at in that journey process. So when you talk about the keywords that they're searching for, sometimes that'll help you indicate where they are. Are they just now doing research? Are they really generic terms? Or are they diving in deeper, right? How do we know where they are in their journey? Or they're like, I'm ready to buy ASAP, right? So knowing those keywords, what that looks like, right? That kind of helps you with the AI out there finding the information you need, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And so what are all of those steps, right? There's problem unaware, right? Which a lot of business owners have a problem, but they don't know about it, right? So they don't actually know what the problem is that's in their business that needs to be solved, right? And so those are typically where you kind of start showing up and you have to show people that they have a problem, right? And that's a very cold place to be in, is like, hey, Christine, you need an application for your business. You're like, no, I don't. It's like, well, yes, you do, because you don't have one. And if you did, you could operate faster. It's like, but I'm fine. It's like, well, you don't actually see the problem that you're not scalable, right? And so you have to educate them on the fact that they even have a problem, right? And so this is not for that. This is for people that are like, okay, I know I need a system. I know I need an application. I know I can't scale because my system isn't dialed in, or I'm hearing about AI, I'm hearing about all of this tech, but not really sure like what the solution is, right? So they're now searching, right? They're problem aware. And that basically means that they know they have a problem and they just don't know what the solution is. So now what they do is they go to the web, they go to ChatGPT, wherever, and they start typing in things like, how to scale my business through technology, how to implement AI and automation to streamline customer fulfillment, how to utilize artificial intelligence to maximize efficiency, right? So now they're talking about the problem that they have, which is inefficiencies or, client fulfillment, capacity, bandwidth, whatever, but they're speaking to the solutions that they think that they need. And so this is a beautiful point to show up and say, hey, guess what? Here I am. You searched for a solution and now in your inbox. You ever wonder how when you say something, you speak something, you search for something, all of a sudden you start getting hit with emails about exactly that problem? It's because you're getting marketed by problem aware types of marketing. And
we love that,
like
right? Because really, it's literally the solution landing in your lap when you were just looking for it. I love when that happens.
Yeah, it feels serendipitous when in reality it's technology, right? So a lot of people are probably like, well, how do I create that myself? Well, Claude can build that for you. And that's one of the things that so many people ask me, like, what's the difference between Claude and ChatGPT? And it's like hard to explain because they don't even feel similar in the capabilities,
All right, now
um,
you were a huge ChatGPT fan before. I know.
die hard, die
Are
hard.
you a recovering ChatGPT addict? Is that how this works? And now you've switched over to Claude as your new fix?
So here's the thing. Here's where I'm at with Claude and new AI tools is that I am open-minded. And if something else comes out and squashes Claude like a bug, I will not resist. As soon as I hear about it, I'm looking at it. That's my new game plan because I've heard about Claude, and I wonder where things would be if I had signed up for Claude the first time I heard about it, You never know.
It seems to be doing some really good stuff. I know I've used it for some of the agentic side, right? Getting it to create things and make things. And there's just certain qualities about that make you go, ooh, right? So,
yeah.
So you're saying Claude is our answer to our problems when it comes to lead generation and everything else. All the other problems too.
Right. And we'll show you. I'm going to share my screen. So if you're watching, just stick with us because I'm going to show you what I built. And, think about it. You run a paid ad campaign. How much would you pay for 16 high quality leads that said, I have a problem and it's aligned with your solution?
Yeah. I mean, you think about how much you spend on ads and there's no guarantee they're even interested in what you're doing, right?
Yeah. With the ads, you're generally hitting people at the problem unaware stage. They're just kind of scrolling, right? Maybe when you've got your targeting really dialed in and you've been retargeting can get more of the problem aware types of people because you hit them with the first one, making them aware, right? So I don't know it depends. Everybody's, cost per lead is different.
Yeah, it depends on the industry, right? Some of them are really expensive. It comes out to, $50 a lead. Other ones, it'll, by the time you get to the end and how much you spent to get that, right? Other ones are lower, but some of the industries are super expensive. So if there's an option that's a lower cost option, I'm sure they're all ears. So, if somebody in that range is going, man, I spent a lot of money on leads. Maybe you need to forward this show to them or tag them, right? Tell them you want to listen to what Daniel Knight has to say. I can't wait. So you've built this whole app using Claude?
Yeah. So should we share it?
Let's do it.
Okay, but let's answer the question. What would you pay? We'll say you, Christine.
Oh, I love that question.
16 quality leads that are problem aware.
Oh goodness, you know me, I'm referral based. So asking me questions about ads is like,
okay, better question. What would you see like your typical client?
Some of them will spend, depending on your price point, right? It depends on the price point of your product, on how much you're going to spend on the ads. Because I've seen people like, okay, if you're not making back the original investment plus, are you really spending money in the right spot for ads, right? So, I could see, I've seen clients that spend, like the insurance clients will do, 50, 100, 150, right?
Yeah.
So I see that kind of stuff all the time.
Right. Yeah. So, it's a pretty good amount of money, right?
Yeah, it adds up, right?
Yeah. So the reason I say this is because what I set up just last night with this lead gen, I call it my prospecting dashboard, costs nothing outside of my Claude subscription. Okay. And so what I have here.
Okay, well, let me get this straight. You said nothing. So your Claude subscription, which I've got one of those, I think the low end is like $20 maybe, right? 20, 22, something in there, right? So $22 that you're already paying anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If you already have the subscription. If not, normally people are going to spend more than 20 on lead gen. So that's crazy.
Right. Yeah, and this is just day one. So let's take a look at it. Can you see my screen? There we go. Yes, I think so.
Oh, yes, definitely. I see lots of pretty colors. It looks pretty.
So this is my prospecting dashboard. Oops, wrong button. We'll zoom in a little bit. And this is all from just last night, literally less than 24 hours. And what I've got is 16 prospects. Okay. And these are not just prospects, but these are actual leads. So I've got the names and the email and the phone number blurred out for, privacy purposes. But it came through and provided the full name, contact. This little blue button is their LinkedIn button that will take me to their LinkedIn profile. And it has found 16 prospects for me. And it gives a score based on, how relevant they are to the keywords and the tags and the solutions that I am offering. Okay. And so then it has this intent signal. Okay. So what this means is that the intent that they showed online was that they were looking for AI automation. They were looking for intelligent automation. This person was looking for artificial intelligence and AI data analytics. So it's telling me specifically what the individual was looking for, that triggered my system to say, hey, this might be a lead for you. And then it went off and it found their customer information, full name, email, phone number, all of the blue and those little white things, that's just blurred out customer info. So anyway, title and all the details. It also gives me potential packages to offer them. And then it shows me where they're at in the process. And so now what's cool about this is that this doesn't just give me their contact information, right? Because I know how badly we all want to get, cold leads into our system that we then get to cold call. But what I did is actually used Claude to create a nurture sequence. And so not only will it find the leads, but it also has a fully dialed in nurture sequence where right off the bat, they're going to get an email that says, hey, I noticed that your company was looking for AI automation. It caught my attention because that's exactly what we build. And then it basically just says, here, if you want to jump on a quick call, book a time, right? So I used Claude to build all of this, 100% of it. It'll send the emails. It'll send the connection request over here on LinkedIn as the next step. It'll follow up with them again to make sure that they actually got it, follow up with them again, and then send them a text message to say, hey,
so
I've been trying to reach you.
Not just follow-up, but multi-channel follow-up.
Yeah, multi-channel, multi-step follow-up. Yep.
All in one, and it's costing you $20 for your Claude subscription.
Yeah, exactly. Because this dashboard didn't cost me anything outside of my Claude subscription. I built it all with Claude. I do have an app called Resend, which is like an email blast system. So I guess that I think it's $20 a month as well. But you can send like unlimited emails with it. It's nuts. I didn't even realize that something like that existed. I've been using the wrong system that's been charging me for every email. And it's one that everybody knows and loves and talks about. And I'm sorry to say, but with what you can do here, we're not going to be far away from everyone just having their own custom CRMs with automations and everything done intelligently. So, yeah. So then it's also pulling from 3 different lead gen sources. So kind of the industry standard that a lot of people know about is Apollo. Apollo is one of them. And it's pulling the leads from Apollo as well as Vibe Prospecting. That's the name of this other prospecting app. And basically when it finds somebody's intent, it'll go through and pull from those different sources to give me their actual contact information. And I just have a free account under 3 different systems. And so it's just using those systems and my free credits.
Free credits from the 3 different places, so you don't actually have to pay for any of those. So once again, you're only paying for Claude.
Correct. Yeah.
And I would assume closing just one of these deals, you're definitely going to get your $20 back, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, beyond, app development, I also have some of the apps that I've built that we can talk about, as well as my community and an event and all that. So multiple sales channels, right? So yeah.
I love this.
I'm really excited about this system. I just think that this has a ton of potential, and it'll show you which emails have actually been sent, which ones are coming up next, and then you can also edit them in case you want to customize it, right? So it's super cool because, like, I mean, I just built this all myself. And, like you said, I do have a pretty strong skill set with tech. But just kind of pushing through and getting this built out, like, that's really what it takes is just you have an idea, speak it, build it, keep pushing through, ask it how to fix it, and just keep going.
And I think for those that have never built an app before, I'm working on one right now. It's project management because I didn't like the project management tools. They were all so complicated and I wanted something that was a little bit simpler, right? So down the rabbit hole, and I totally blame Daniel for this because it's his thing about, well, why don't you just build something? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And now I am. And I'm like, oh, I'm that person. I'm doing it. Right. So if we can figure it out, right, there's hope. Part of it is knowing what to ask and what you need. Right. So there's a certain skill set and having somebody that can give you a hand with that. Because like you said, okay, it gathers the leads. Well, so you got to think like a marketer. Okay, well, now that I've got the leads, now what am I going to do with it? Okay, well, so I'm going to send messages. Well, a lot of times we're so used to that one channel, right? We're either going to blast things out on LinkedIn, we're going to blow up people's inboxes, right? Or we're going to blow up their emails. But this has a multi-step and multi-channel option, right? So you have to think like a marketer to think about putting that all together, tying it together. Can you see who's opening what's been sent out, what hasn't, right? Where are they in the buyer's journey, right? I mean, this is all stuff you have to be able to think through. If you don't know how to ask the question and if your AI doesn't volunteer that information for you, that's why it's nice to have somebody along for the ride that can tell you, hey, these are the kinds of things you want to make sure you add to your app, right? Because if we were building it, I look at it, I'm like, I wouldn't have thought of all that. I love what you built out, Daniel. And so is this something that you're going to be offering to people? Was this like a Unicorn Universe special thing? Is this a Daniel Knight has ventured out on his own watch out world? What is this?
So the lead gen app specifically, or
we'll start there, and then I want to hear about the other things you're working on. We'll probably have to have you come back because you have your hands in so many pots, and I know our audience wants to know more about it.
Yeah, I mean, so the lead gen app, I mean, I really just built that for myself, but I could see it making sense to package it up and offer it to people. Like I did that I have this event planner app, and that's something that I've made available for people to buy and use, and then a couple others as well. And honestly, what I'd say is, I am doing a workshop in a couple of weeks to kind of educate people on and walk people through building their own app. I know we're not supposed to sell things on here, but I have that available.
So we're going to pretend that we didn't hear that, but Daniel, tell us more. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to build an app by myself. The idea of doing that completely by myself without guidance of somebody who's already been there, done that, walk me through it. Maybe you're comfortable with tech, but you just haven't dived into this area yet. That's how I was, right? And then there's other people who are like, I am not techie. Can I learn how to do this too? Yeah. Is it going to be that level for both those sides?
Yeah. I mean, it can definitely, it's great for people who haven't built anything. They don't know how to code. What I would say is if you have some sort of idea of what you want to build, or you have a business and you know that having a custom application could help you make more money or save money, save time, then it's for you. Very much kind of meeting people where they're at, giving people from ground zero, using Claude, signing up for Claude, to your app is now developed and functional. You might not get it to the point where you can actually make sales, because that takes quite a bit more structure, but we're going to take people through all of that as well.
So you're literally going to go from the very beginning all the way through, and then after that, they're just going to need to fine tune just a couple of pieces of it after that to make it so they can use it.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that. We'll take them to fully functional. Depending on how complex they want to go with it, that might be the only difference there. But the idea is to go from zero to fully functional application that you can use in your business or as your business. And we're doing that 2-day workshop next week on April 7th and 8th, and it's 4 hours a day. So it's a virtual workshop and very hands-on. If anybody wants to register or check that out, and we'll have other upcoming events as well. But you can register at workshop.nightvibe.me. That's night like, day and night, NIGHT vibe.me. So, yeah.
If they can't remember that, what's the best way for them to get involved in your world so they can get exposed to what you're up to and your latest, greatest, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So you can register for the workshop, check out some of the apps, as well as, my unicorn community, just my official Daniel Knight page. It's danielknight.me, and that'll have all the details of the things that I'm working on and how you can get involved.
That's Daniel Knight with a KNIGHT.me. So you can go over and find out what else he's up to, because he's going to keep the latest, greatest on there. Because I'm like, I can't keep up with you, Daniel. You are constantly just like on the go with something new. And I love that your heart to, I created it for my own business, but I bet it'll help other people. Let me share, right? That literally is your mindset. So anything that you're using and you're offering to people is something that you literally are using in your business. And I love that about you. There's an opportunity there. So I'm going to put on the Unicorn Universe. Of course, that's where I play also. So unicornuniverse.io/diva lets them know that I sent you there. I will take the kudos and credit for that one. Absolutely. Because I think it's a great universe. You're always putting up the new things that you're working on, right? So if they want to know what's going on, that's a great place to go and join the universe and see what your options are. Because we said that his class is coming up, but what if we miss this class? Now what?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, they're Jones and they watch the video and they go, I just missed it yesterday, right? And then they're all disappointed. We can't have that, right? So if you join the school universe, right, now you have an opportunity. That's where he posts what's going on. So you don't want to miss that opportunity, because if it's not this one, when he offers it again or some other really cool toy. Did you mention something about event management kind of stuff too? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That, like you said, building an app to solve a problem of my own, like those are the best applications, right? Those are the best products out there, is when someone has a problem and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to build something to solve it for myself. And so I was working with Jolene, and we were creating this spreadsheet of, all the different events we had coming up. We need to create the description, the graphics, the posts, the emails, all that stuff, And so we had this spreadsheet together. I was all excited because I'm like, you know what? We just need a spreadsheet so we can keep track of it. So we make it, we put it together. We lined out the first line, and then I shared it with her and I pull it up on the screen. And the two of us look at each other like, we're not doing this. Wait, now we're supposed to fill this out? It was just so funny because we had gone away from using spreadsheets because of all the different, apps and solutions we've implemented. And I was just like, you know what? We need an app for this. So
you need an app for your apps and keep track of your apps. Is that what this is?
No, that's not what that is. I have that, but
of course you do.
Yeah, no, I have that. That one's my app dashboard. So no, this is for events, and it went from event checklist to full on event management system. It's awesome. You can add speakers to it. You can collaborate with your team. You can, tag the speakers, give them all of their assets through there. It's super cool. And yeah, I did it because, at this point, between virtual and in-person events, I've hosted around 400 events, just over that. And it's a lot. Keeping track of where you're at with everything can be a lot to manage.
Only 400. And exactly, you needed it for your business. It just made sense. And when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I might need that too. I think you've got a whole list of things that I think I might need. We're going to have to bring you back and have you dive into this whole event app. And then I know you had some other ones that I know our audience is going to be interested in too. That just makes you go, you what? Right. Yeah. So the event planning, execution, and beyond, I think is what Jolene was saying, right? Mm-hmm. How to build apps for marketing. There are so many cool things. So there's stuff that my clients want, right? Mm-hmm. And we've always done it the tedious way, right? By hand, right? And so learning how we can shift that into an automation side, ooh, game changer. So yeah. I can't wait.
Yep. I'm excited.
It is. So hopefully everybody's kind of got an idea on how to use Claude for lead generation. Now, is this something you said you're going to make available at some point, or?
That lead gen app, I'm going to have to.
Yeah, it's too late. Now we've seen it. We can't unsee it. So I think you're going to have to share it with us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to keep playing with it and scrape all the leads myself first, and then, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's package upable. We'll see. I kind of built it. It's like connected with Claude. So I don't know. I gotta, like, there's a button inside of Claude that I press and it goes out and finds all the leads. Like I could probably press it right now and it would go find all the newest, latest leads for me,
That sounds like fun. Yeah, I think we need things. I know for small businesses, like we said, it's so hard for them to get the leads, and then they don't necessarily have the systems in place for nurturing the leads, right? So there's a lot of steps to this. So if we can make lead gen a little bit easier on our small, medium businesses, that really opens up the possibilities for them for growth. So I love these new toys that you've got, Daniel. Keep on coming back and sharing your toys with us, because I absolutely love what you're doing. It's amazing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm all for it. Thank you.
Now, did you have I want to see your me page. Where's your me page?
You want to see the me page?
I want to see your new me page.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited.
If you don't have a me page already, you need a me page, right? And we say that because his website ends with .me, right? But these are the kinds of things that you can do with AI. And I've got a guest. Brody's helping me with the broadcast today.
Nice. Yeah, and I also built this with Claude in about 20 minutes,
20 minutes, no way.
If that. I mean, the part that took long was just telling it what I wanted and consolidating all of the links to all the different things that I have going on. But yeah, this is my me page. Just, I gave it my headshot. I uploaded my speaker bio, told it all the details of what I wanted it to talk about and what I wanted it to focus on. And and so it's got links to my Night Ops page. That's the main business for building out people's applications for their business. A link to book and hire me for speaking, which takes them to details about my speaking. And, I've got a lot of experience here. And so it talks about the different topics, what to hire me for. You can book me for, podcasting. It's got a link to view my speaker bio, right? Pretty handy dandy little button, right? We got AI taking over. So then I've got information about my mastermind, and I've got links to some of the different tools that I've built. There's a link to the workshop that I'm doing, the app dashboard that I've created, the event planner app that we were talking about, and then Unicorn Universe button to join us there, register for the next connection event or our referral power hour. So that's my me.
Love it. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And that's really, if we're talking about lead gen and how to use AI, boom, there it is. You built us out with Claude, right?
Yeah.
Yep. We're talking about, how do people know who you are, what you offer, right? You've got it all laid out right there on the page. It's a little bit different than a business page, right? This is more of a you page. And so I love that. It's kind of like your ongoing speaker bio sheet kind of thing, right? But if you don't have something like this, why not use Claude to help that with your lead gen, right? Now you've got something you can add in as a link. Hey, you want to learn more about me? Here I am, right?
Yeah.
Rather than your standard sales funnel if you're more interested in building relationships, right? So I love this. This is awesome, Daniel. We're going to have you back again because I think we're going to have to deep dive into some of the other toys that you have, because this is our playground right now. We're having fun. AI is hot right now. Automations are hot right now, and anything we can do to help small businesses or even nonprofits, right, to have the impact that they want, this is the place to come. So thank you so much for coming and playing with us today.
Yeah. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely. And then for giver marketing, we do this Tuesday broadcast. Go figure. On Tuesdays, join us every week at 8 a.m. Pacific, and that is 10 o'clock in Texas, which is where I am. Hey, Texas. And then you got it 11 Eastern. But we also do networking for marketers. So I'm going to scroll that real quick. Networking for marketers meeting is on Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. Register at givermarketing.com/networking. And that's your PR space, your marketing space, media, right? Don't be a lonelypreneur. Come hang out with us. We love chatting, and the dogs will probably join us then too. But we look forward to seeing you then. Come hang out with us. Thank you again for all of your wisdom that you've shared with us today, and good luck with your upcoming event.